Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Hot Experience Podcast. I am your host, Ian Victor. Before I start this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you do not miss out on any videos. Oh, man. It just seems like we just getting more bombshell news left and right. I mean, we already knew the pre-releases of Draymond, Rayshawn, George, and Roy Robinson were coming. We knew Tyler Lockett was coming. We didn't know that DK requested a trade. Now, Geno Smith, all up out the door, traded it to Las Vegas. I made a video back last week about the quarterback situation. What my intention and what my expectation was is that Geno was going to be re-signed to a short-term extension with an increase of pay, like 35 and 37. And I was wrong. I was wrong. I will come on here and say that I was wrong because I did not know this was coming. Nobody knew this was coming. So let's break it down. So Geno in his camp wanted it $45 million a year. Seahawks was set at $37 million a year. So that's like a $5 to $10 million difference. And Geno ended up requesting a trade. And I remember a report coming out yesterday. It was like there was one team that had contacted the Seahawks about Geno. In my mind, it was the Raiders. That's what my mind is telling me. Because who else would be calling for Geno? Like, who else would be calling for him? Like, if he was worth a second round pick, wouldn't the Browns be calling? Wouldn't the Jets want him back? Wouldn't the Giants, Titans? Who else need a quarterback? Hell, wouldn't New Orleans would have called if they would have released Derek Carr? I say that will be highly unlikely due to the fact that New Orleans is in so much cap hell. But if Geno was worth a second or first round pick, wouldn't teams that would need quarterbacks would have been calling Seattle about Geno? Like that's just my question. And then I'm already seeing some people. I'm seeing Mina Kimes. I'm seeing a whole lot of people saying that, oh, this is a bad trade. I do not think this was a bad trade at all. Like, from a Raiders perspective, this is a good trade for them because what's going on over there, I don't think they're interested in a rebuild over there. I think they're trying to win right now. That's what the mojo that I'm getting from Las Vegas. I think they're trying to prove to Max Crosby that they're trying to win right now. Here's a caveat. Earlier in the week, there was a trade proposal that would have sent Geno and DK to Las Vegas for Max Crosby. If that would have came out, in my mind, I was like, oh no, this ain't gonna happen. Because one, I don't see Mark Davis allowing this to happen. And I don't see Spytek doing this because, in my opinion, I think Mark Davis would have crashed the hell out if this was to happen. I think Mark Davis would have lost his damn mind to a point he probably would have fired the GM on the spot. That's just my opinion. But If that trade would have went through, that would have broke the NFL. It would have literally broke the NFL, and it literally would have caught everybody off guard. Hell, this whole free agency, like pre-free agency, is the craziest so far. It's literally crazy so far from a Seahawks perspective. It's been crazy. And I would just have to say this. What this trade does, I think we are resetting in a way. Because when everybody got so upset when the Hawks lost to the 49ers on the Thursday night earlier in the season, right before the season began, my mind told me it's like this is a transition in football team. Because when you have a new coach, this is going to be a transitional year. There's going to be a lot of ups and a lot of downs. And everybody in they mama was talking about, oh, you could just plug in Mike McDonald and they're ready to go, with not knowing that it was going to be a process. Like, I didn't even really say nothing to everybody because in my mind, I'm like, this is going to be a transitional year. How does everybody not know that this is going to be a season full of ups and downs? And not only that, you had a offensive coordinator who is now at the University of Alabama of Ryan Grubb, who never coached in the NFL. You know his nature is to throw the ball around 90% of the time. My theory is that when he was at UW, I know for a fact that Caleb DeBoer called the plays. Yeah, like Ryan Grubb was like, hey, how do we feel about this? But the buck actually stopped with Caleb DeBoer. Like, that's just my opinion. I'm standing on that. But you had an offensive staff this past season who just wasn't aligned with the offense. The offensive line was bad. That literally led to a lot of turnovers, especially in the end zone. Like, we're just going to be honest here. Like, ever since Geno got the contract, it was like a 3-year, $75 million deal. The play has been average. Like, I'm going to be honest. It's been average. He had games where he was like the best quarterback. And then there were some games he was just horrible. Like, we're going to keep it 100. But hey, here's a question now. Does DK get extended now? Because there's been a lot of reports, there's been a lot of rumors that Geno and DK really didn't really get along. They wasn't seeing eye to eye on a lot of things, especially on football. They wasn't seeing eye to eye. Maybe did DK half-ass ran that route against the 49ers on that Thursday night where the 49ers ended up intercepting that ball? Was that literally because of them just not seeing eye to eye? DK not really fully trusting Geno? Excuse my language on that, a few moments ago. But those are just questions now. That's the questions I have in my mind. I know a lot of people in the fan base is happy that Geno's gone. In my mind, I was just kind of thinking, like, one part of me is like, this might have just ran its course. Another part of me is like, if you want to bring him back, at least draft a quarterback and try to develop him so that you can make the transition easy as possible. Like, you got a Jackson Dart in this draft who I really, really like. You got a Will Howard who I really, really like because I like my ideal quarterback is a guy who is going to lead the room where a lot of players gravitate to and follow their lead. And I want a quarterback that can make big plays in big moments. When the game is really, really on the line, when it really, really matters, can my quarterback make the big play? Can he make the right decision? Can I trust him to lead the Seahawks to a championship? That's what I want from my quarterback. And to be honest, there were some moments where Geno did that. And in my opinion, I think Geno's ceiling, if Seattle would have got into the playoffs, was probably a wild card. Would probably be thrown out of the divisional round. Or probably be out in the first round. We saw that in 2023 against the 49ers in the playoffs. In my opinion, I don't think Geno's worth 40, 45 million. I think he's worth at least in the 30s, mid 30s, late 30s. That's just my opinion. Now, what I think that the Seahawks is going to do, I think they're going to overhaul some of this roster. I predicted this earlier in the season that they were going to overhaul some of this roster because, in my opinion, and I am going to stand on this, we are transitioning to being a physical football team. Because the last couple of years, the Seahawks have been a finesse team. An average to a below average football team that says that want to be a contender but don't make the moves to actually contend. Mainstream media is looking at this team like a joke. I'm sorry. I'm going to be honest. Like, playtime's over. And I think John Schneider and Mike McDonald is really going to overhaul some of this roster. And there's been a report right now saying that some of the players aren't happy with the decisions the past couple of days. Sometimes tough decisions are going to have to be made. Players come and go. And for the fans out there that are saying that this is a bad trade, I think this is a good trade. At least you got a third round pick back, which is the 92 overall pick that was formerly belonged to the Jets, but ended up getting traded to the Raiders because of the Devontae Adams trade. And now that pick belongs to us. So we got an extra pick in the third round. I think this is going to be an aggressive offseason. I think this is going to be an aggressive draft. I think we're going to see things that we ain't never seen before. We don't know if DK will get traded or not. That is the next domino. Does DK get traded or does he get extended? That's the next thing that's up now. But hey, these are exciting times. But understand this. This is going to be a process. Change is scary. Yes, it is scary. But you will come out on the other side feeling great. But hey, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. If you like the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. Hey man, help me grow this channel. Let's grow this channel, man. You know, I know I'm just getting started, but I love this community. I love this football team. I'm a Seattle Seahawks fan at heart. I've been, fans for a couple of teams when I was young growing up, but I finally found my true love, which is this football team. And I am very, very excited to cover this team. This is a great community. This is a great fan base. You know, this is going to be a process. I understand this will be a process. And tough decisions are going to be made. There's going to be decisions that players don't like, fans don't like. But the NFL is a business. This is a business. Players get cut left and right. Left and right. But they're going to have to get this quarterback situation figured out because a lot of fans are not happy right now. And I think Sam Darnold's on the table. If you get the O line together, if you get the right pieces around Sam Darnold, if he signs here, because in my opinion, I don't think he's going back to Minnesota unless a bombshell happens and Minnesota signs him to at least a 2-3 year deal, which that's highly unexpected because I think they're going to go to JJ McCarthy. We just have to see where this goes. We have to see how all the state plays out. But hey, man, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. To the next video, I'm signing out. Peace.